told this story. This is, I'm gonna make it real super short. It's a guy. His parents gave him $50,000. He pulled himself up by his bootstraps. He got his own business. He went around door to door, knocking on door, passing out flyers, and now he's got customers and he's built this company into a multi-million-dollar company. And people hear that story like, yeah, of course, that's what the American dream is about. But for me, and like how I came up and people of color, we stopped at the 50,000. Your parents gave you what? I wish my parents had $50,000 to give me to pull myself up by the bootstraps. That's the privilege. That's the little things. Not having to answer why you're at CBS's front gate. Not having to explain why you need a dressing room with the bathroom. Those little things that's the most part of the privilege. Of course, there's the extraneous examples that go over the top, but it's usually the little things. People watching you while you're walking into the store. Why people want an African American mate, or at least to address those points that might ruffle some feathers. Let's address the elephant in the room. You know what I mean? So luckily too, they gave me permission per se to be like, yo, you can speak on that, because they know I'm gonna speak on it anyway. But like, I don't mind that you address the elephant in the room. Yeah, it has been a white show for 30-something years, very white, like extremely white.
Well, that's the thing, and I think what you know, to me, because even honestly, I remember I sent you the message before. I was like, I literally, no joke, like I write because I love you guys. I love Catherine, and I got invested. For me, as I said, like, as a writer, as a producer, as an actor, I look at things from all different elements. Yeah. And honestly, it's like, if I could get in the room to write for you, dude, I could write you a story that will literally, when you take your character to a whole, because as soon as I saw the dynamic of where they were going with this Justin Barber dollar bill, and what pissed me off, it was like, you have the ability to really, like, build something. Yeah. And it seemed like it was in overdrive, that they were so quick to rush this thing through. And I'm going, what happened to the art of storytelling? Like, I get it. There's budgets and things like that. But the whole point of a show, it shouldn't be just about numbers and about ratings, because, yes, those are important. But in order to create those ratings and high volume of episodes, people that want to tune in, you've got to give them something to bite on and say, hey, I'm enjoying this steak. I want to marinate on it. I want to sit on it for a while. I don't want to just wolf this shit down like a burger quickly and get gas and feel sick and be like, and to me, it's like, you know, and again, like, I ain't even going to lie, bro. Like, I told you this in the text, was like, when you did that scene with Dawn and the tears started running down your eyes, no joke, they ran down mine. Because not only was that one of the most incredible performances I've ever seen between two powerhouses, but it, for my own personal life, I've literally, when I say, have gone through both spectrums. From the dollar bill side, where you had this best friend that you trusted and you know, was your brother. Because I, like me, in my life, I don't have friends. Like, if I have your family to me, if I let you into my world, your family to me. I consider you a brother. I consider you a brother. But it's like, when you have that betrayal, and to me, it was, I get it, if Dollar Bill was a good guy, if you treated Justin with the respect, in a perfect world, yo, that was some shady shit that Justin did. But in the real world of my own personal story, my own personal life, having given blood, sweat, tears for people that I've loved, who literally have treated me nothing more than the help. When you know well in this business, bro, you know, when the lights are on, everybody loves you. Everybody loves you. But when the lights are off, they ain't lifting a dollar for you, bro. They ain't coming to help you. And it was things that I learned even in the business, because I'm sure you've had this over your career, where you could have amazing chemistry on camera with like it's so believable that you're like, these two really fuck with each other. Like they're like brothers. But then once cut, I run it out, hey, I don't really talk like that. Like we do our thing on set and that's it. And then I'm like, how do you go to work and put those performances out and not have that relationship? But it also taught me about the business where this goes back to what you said. It's like, it's a business. Yes. And if you start to outshine somebody, it could lead to them losing their job.
Yes.
So there's going to be a thing for certain actors where, as I said, you could come into daytime, you could come into Bold and Beautiful and just play it safe. And that may work out. But if you look at your history, because like Texas is going to be on, and honestly, like next week, and I'd love to have you back to have you both wrap it up. Because I think it'd be a great dynamic to understand, because you look at it this way. You've had these black actors that sort of have trickled in the door in Bold and Beautiful, like a revolving door. When you leave, you come back. But you sustained, out of all the characters of African American, the longest, because it seems like you were willing to take those chances to say, look, because the way I look at it, as you said, you could go to acting classes off camera, or you could treat this like acting classes, because you know, in an audition, every audition that you go to, whether you get it or not, is the potential for another job. And even when you're acting and you get that job, you know as well as I do, many people in our business, they like to play comfortable. They like to stay comfortable. They're like, okay, I got my job today. I'm good. I'm on contract. But as you said, when you came in, they promised you a family. They promised you this. They promised you that. And then one day a new writing ship comes in. Nah, I'm not really going with that. So for you, what would you say, like, what has been your success factor for you in longevity?
Man, longevity, bro. Come to the playground ready to play. Not coming to the playground with your idea of what the playground should be. You understand? Yeah, you can have your ideas and you can have put in your work with your character, but guess what? Once you get to the set, it's no more work that you can really do. You've already put in the work. Now it's time to deliver. And the way that you thought it was going to be delivered may not be the way it's being received. So instead of playing ping pong, now y'all playing tennis. You're like, well, wait a minute, I was practicing like a mug for some ping pong. But nah, bro, we on the tennis court right now. And so for me, in this particular role, in this particular character, I had to take the understanding of, now I got to be Robin all of a sudden. This dude is a vet. He has the same type personality as me. What can I do to make this a comfortable environment, first and foremost? Second of all, where can I slide myself in to make me like be worthy, not of myself, but of you keeping me here? How can I turn this into something positive? And so once I began to understand all of that, once again, fly on the wall, I just sponged. Like I was just sucking up everything as much as I possibly could, so I can interject at any moment, at any time, a little bit of Justin. Whether it was a look, a facial expression, because I try to tell a lot what's going on with Justin because through his facial expressions, because a lot of times I don't have nothing to say. So I'm like, okay, you ain't gonna give me no words. I'll make my own words.
No, you did. When that scene with Wyatt, when you came in the room and he was like asking you questions, you're like, I got this. I got this. And just had that, and he's sitting there, and I love again, and then because Wyatt, you know, Darren plays that character so animated in his expressions and how he portrays things, where it's this jovial humor all the time. But you play in a humor that's almost like it's an arrogance, but it's a confidence, but it's also the fact of like, you know what? Keep underestimating me. Keep treating me like the help. Because I'm a lot smarter than what you think I am. And I think that for you has been a blessing as a performer. And this is where I want to ask you then. what's the differences for you between Aaron Spears and Justin Barber?
Justin is probably a little more, I say, in control in certain, I guess, up until late in certain situations. I wouldn't say that I'm necessarily out of control, but like, I love people and I'm always, you know, giving love. And sometimes I'm probably a little more animated than Justin in terms of, you know, maybe coming into an environment. I've had to learn early on that my presence is
I love this. I love this. I love this. Okay, well, keep
so
going.
it's hard to deal with and accept as a person where, why can't I just come into the room and be in a bad mood? And you know what I'm saying? Everybody else can be in a bad mood and doesn't make a difference. But if I'm in a bad mood, I change the entire energy in the room. If I'm in a good mood, then the whole energy in the room's in a good mood. So contingent on the event and what's going on is how my personality is portrayed. It's never fake. It's always an aspect of myself, but I also understand the responsibility that I carry every time I go into a room. So for me, depending on the situation, considering I love people, I have no problem giving compliments. I always give compliments. Why? Because I'm confident about myself. So I ain't worrying about feeling insecure or improper or did I say the right thing or the wrong thing. I'm good with me. I can, you know, I'm good with me. So I'm always going to share and spread that love. And I feel like Justin has had to develop that mystique through silence, right? Because you're not given so many lines and so many words, you have to wonder at the very least what's bubbling behind those eyes. So that was the part that I had to develop in a sense that I have to make this guy nice, because that's what they're looking for right out the gate, right? And through the niceness, you begin to see he has a moral values. He has this moral compass that he's guiding this kind of off the charts boss, quote unquote, of his, and he's giving him that underlying layer of calm, of mystique, of, you know, I'm nice, but I ain't gonna take no shiz. You understand what I'm saying, bro? And if we got to go at it, then I guess we just gonna go at it. I'm not a pushover. I will do what you say out of respect for the love that we have for one another as men, but you're not just going to boss me around and tell me what to do. No, it's not that either. So those things I think are similar. Like, you know, I don't take no mess. I've never been that dude. You know, I'm cool until I'm not. That's
so this is the thing, and I love that you said that, because I had this same conversation with Sean Augustus where, because again, me and you have the sort of same type alpha mentality on set. We're loud, you know, this is who we are. But the question I asked him, because, and this is where, you know, I want to ask you the same thing, is that us as people of color, when you have these certain types of A-type personalities, when we're on a set, you sometimes deal with, and even as for black women the same way, you're considered too loud, and sometimes you've been told, hey, you need to turn it down. But then I've been on sets, for example, you know, and he's like a family to me, but like Tom Cruise, who I worked with years ago. And Tom has, I mean, one of the most dedicated professional guys I've ever known in this business. But in his, you know, antics, people bottom line go, oh, you know, he's loud. And I'm going, you know, you would never tell a Tom Cruise to turn it down. But for us as black men, if we're over the top, we're considered a problem. And there's an old saying that my mentor used to say to me when it comes to the business as black performers: last to be hired, first to be fired.
Yeah.
Because we've got to come in and sort of play either not ourselves by staying, as you say, quiet, like some people chose to do, but you're not like that guy, I'm not that guy. So how do you, like, has anyone ever told you to turn it down? And also, when you came to Bold and Beautiful, as you said, you didn't know what to expect with Dom. Take me back to the very first day you worked together in that first scene. Was there a pressure for you? Did you feel intimidated? Or were you like, I'm just ready to go, I can handle this guy?
Man, so what I try to do is this. First and foremost, I always try to lead with love, right? Regardless of the presence that I bring. If you lead with love, and especially on a set or on any particular environment that you can intimidate people or that is intimidating, I have a tendency to do that. So you got to remember, here I'm going to take you for instance. You walking in, big 6'3", 6'2", however big you are, right?
6'2".
Right? You walking in, black dude, loud, and then you have this attraction thing to you. People want to be attracted. So you're already dealing with whatever other people may think about black men, right? And then here you go, you this big black man, okay? Then you got the stereotype. You know what say again?
Terry Crews?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You got with Terry Crews, but then you got, let's just say you got big feet.
Yeah.
Okay, that's another stereotype that's being dealt with, whether people want to admit it or not. You see what I'm saying? Whether it's true or not, it's still there.
Yeah.
So, and that's something that no one can do anything about. Surgery can't change that. It is what it is. So if I don't have that, you're already intimidating enough.
Yeah.
And then you got this attraction thing going on. So now you snatching away, one, my attention, two, my women. And now if that particular situation comes to the forefront in a discussion, there's nothing I can do to change that as well. Because now you're like the alpha male from head to toe, including the phallus, okay? So you have all of that you're dealing with. So I try to be cognizant of that. And if I lead with love and I lead with a giving heart, I have a tendency to diminish their insecurities. Because it's not my fault you're feeling like that. I'm walking and being me. And again, I'm not going to douse my shine for you. So that's your insecurity.
Hashtag douse your shine, guys.
Yeah.
Welcome to Hot Topic Celeb TV. We're here with Aaron Spears. Don't forget, you can check us out every Sunday on Sunday Service. Tonight, joining us in the building, Aaron Spears from The Bold and the Beautiful. Hashtag don't let anybody douse your shine, ladies and gentlemen. Continue.
That's real. So when you lead with that love, man, it also makes them feel comfortable. That's what it's really about. Making other people feel comfortable in your presence, because Hollywood is about relationships. If I'm going to be working with you for the next 11 years, the next 3 months, the next 10 days, do I feel comfortable around you and what it is you're not only bringing to the character, but who you are as a person and how I feel in the presence of you. So now if you are conquering and aware of all of those things, you can now begin to shape and mold the perception of yourself as well. I'm leading with love. I'm not going to cower. I'm not going to make myself less than. I'm going to stand in every 6'2" of all of this, bro. And you just going to have to deal with that. But I'm also going to be the first one to come over there and give you a big old hug. And what's up, so-and-so, and make you feel great. And if you look good, I'm going to tell you look good. If I like your shoes, I'm going to compliment you. If I like your hair, I'm going to compliment you. Now their insecurities begin to subside. And now we can just deal with human beings, person to person, which then leads into all the things, me going into that first scene with Don. Like, Don, nice looking dude. Okay, he's, in terms of guys, when they're looking at, oh, you're taller than me. All right, cool. All right, you've been doing this for a long time. How are you gonna take me? I ain't like chopped liver. I'm like, yo, I can bring heat too. I got a little something with me too. So I don't know how to take this. I'm nervous. Hell yeah, I'm nervous. I ain't been on the soap like that. Like, nah. It's moving fast, bro. Soaps move crazy fast. So I'm just like, man, just know your lines, bro. And I'm so glad I rehearsed them lines so much.
Yeah, how did you remember? Because obviously the daytime game is one take.
Daytime. Yeah.
Crazy. How was your memory game for that?
Memory game, you're like, auditions are nothing after you've done soaps because you get so much dialogue. But in the beginning, it was just a matter of just like repetitiveness to the point that it was almost sickening, because you didn't have much time to get those words in your mouth. And while you're walking to set, they may hand you a paper with some changes, or they may yell over the loudspeaker, because that's what happens on soaps. There's not a director on set with you. There's a person in the booth. You hear them, but you don't see them. So they may be like, you know what, we're 5 seconds over. You guys cut this, blend that paragraph with that paragraph, and then don't say the last 4 lines. And then you're supposed to be like, okay, what? You want me to do what?
I'm already fucking lost, but even thinking about
Good God, you know? So you have to be prepared for all that. And all the preparation leading up to that, repetitive over and over, allowed me to be comfortable. So when I got to the scene with Don and he may have changed something or said something different, that was the first day that we started playing ping pong. You serve the ball, I'm going to serve it back to you. Because I learned that some actors don't like for you to change the lines. I didn't know that. I thought every actor liked to play in the playground. I didn't understand you wanted a rigid mold of a castle that you pack and then turn over and then take the thing off and it's a castle. I thought you wanted to build it yourself and you might add this and do. Some actors don't like that. So that set the tone for what we would be. Are you a stickler for lines? Because I just threw something at you and you threw it right back at me. Oh, okay. We can play ping pong. All right. You like to get down in the sand. Yo, let's do it. And from then on, that's what helped our dynamic as well. Because it won't matter what he threw at me. You're like, I don't care what you say. I'm going to throw something back at you. So be ready for what I'm going to throw back at you. You trying to throw me, I'm going to throw something at you too.
So for you, like obviously in this long career on the show, what would you say, and even we can even go back to the beginning of your career, what would you say the difference is now for you as an actor, not only in daytime and on Bold and Beautiful, but just overall, the differences from when you started to now, and now dealing with the world of reality TV and social media and all the changes that have happened in the 20 years. What would you say?
I would say comfortability.
Okay.
The more you do something, the more comfortable you're going to be. So like now, like I'm not really scared of anything. You know, I mean, if you could be on soaps, I tell you can be on anything. I don't care what it is. Nothing moves at the pace of soaps. Not movies, not television, prime time. No, nothing. So nothing jars me or makes me. I think we all get nervous to some certain extent, but it's not nervous to the point where you're afraid of performing or feel that you can't. It's just you just want to do your best. And I think nerves kick in at any point in regards to that. Social media has been one of them things. When it first hit, man, I stayed away because I was, you know, I suffered from anxiety for like 7 years. I just didn't like the whole premiere thing and people all in my face. And no one talked about that. You didn't talk about that. I thought I was going to go do TV and movies and be my regular person. I didn't know I was going to have to deal with all the other things that come with it, right? Quote unquote stardom and fame. So that was hard for me to get over. And then I began to realize that you're shooting yourself in the foot because the reason that The Rock is on Jimmy Kimmel is because he's promoting the movie.